Hey everyone, this is a special edition of Not Your Average Netizens. This is Ash here, and I guess we are officially on Soshi Watch. By the time this podcast gets posted, everyone will likely have some idea of what has gone down. But as of right now, 9:03 Eastern Time, East Coast of the United States speaking. We have the following information about Jessica of the group Sonoshi Day Girls' Generation. The possible chance that she may have been kicked out of SM, kicked out of the group, dropped out of the group. We're not exactly sure yet. The first bit of information that came out was all through social media, uh, so naturally, a lot of people thought this was a hacking situation. However, as we'll get to, there's been some new information that's come out in the last few hours. I'll go through her. Is it Weibo account?
I don't know what you call it. The W thing that all
W
the
account.
K-pop guys use.
I just hate to mispronounce things, but
We,
yeah, her Weibo account. I'll say Weibo, and then you guys can correct me.
we'll butcher it
Anyways,
later. Don't worry.
yeah.
Tables wobble, but they don't fall down.
I have a feeling we're gonna need a lot of Shannon's cheer and good cheer and jokes.
Oh, it ain't
this
good
evening.
cheer.
Yes.
Just
And hard apple cider. Okay, so Jessica wrote this to her account sometime earlier today, yesterday, probably South Korean time. Uh, and I quote, I was excited about our upcoming fan events only to shockingly be informed by my company and 8 others that as of today I'm no longer a member. I'm devastated. My priority in love is to serve as a member of Girls' Generation, but for no justifiable reason I am being forced out. Then I assume, was this her English Twitter account or something? It was the only thing I have to go by is it was sy_Jessica.
That's a Weibo account, yeah.
I guess that's Weibo. Okay. And then, because this is in English, the first one was translated from Korean. This was all in English. You guys are very special people that I love dearly. Therefore, you deserve to hear the truth from me. I'm deeply saddened and hurt by those who I trusted and hope that you don't ever have to experience this kind of pain. As of right now, the only information that we have gotten is from SM, which was about maybe an hour ago, that they're looking into it, and some airport pics of Girls' Generation at a Chinese fan meeting without Jessica, and a couple pics of Hyoyeon looking very, very upset. A couple of the other girls don't look too happy either, and the internet's just blowing up. Jessica is trending, and SNSD is trending on Twitter. Hashtag We Believe in You, Jessica. There's stuff going. And of course, all kinds of stuff going around that she met with JYJ's lawyer. Although that's been said to be untrue. I wouldn't be surprised, however, that this has
Technically,
something to do with
if
her.
that was true, if the lawyer thing was true, he's gonna lie to us anyways because of confidentiality agreements. So you can take that with a grain of salt, especially because confidentiality would say you would not tell that you have a client until you have to. There's no point. You get nothing from doing that. So he could be lying. That's the important part that I want to stress here
Well,
because of confidentiality.
well, yeah,
listen.
there you go.
Let me have my pipe dream that this is just a weird dream, and Jessica fell asleep on a plane and forgot to get off, and is back in Korea.
I don't know. I don't know if that would make Hyoyeon look so angry. However, a lot of people say she was one of Jessica's closest friends. Uh, Also, they're talking about Jessica was looking at starting some sort of clothing line, Blanc or something of that nature, and that might have caused some friction between her and the company. It's just right now everyone is just pretty much camped out waiting to hear something, and if all of this does turn out to be true, um, holy crap, this will be the worst year for K-pop ever, I think, that I can remember. I mean, I I was there for the J Park thing, but this I think is going to be 10 billion times worse. I've read some things on Girls' Generation fan sites, and some of the fans are already like breaking down mentally, physically over just the idea that Jessica may not be in the group. So I don't even I don't even want to know what to think if this is true. Thoughts, first impressions, anything.
Bye, FX.
Well, it's okay. So the first thing I thought of when I saw this was when I think we talked about this last week. We were talking about what we were just talking about Girls' Generation renewing their contract, which a lot of people are bringing up as a counter argument to this. Why all nine of them would renew their contract, and then Tim went ahead and was like, as you were talking, you were actually, for those of you on the internet who were criticizing Tim for his "I hate those girls" comment, he actually was praising them not too long ago because of the fact that they're known for having a real kind of sisterhood vibe and for sticking together and being there for each other, and very competitive environment of music entertainment. But now none of none of it makes sense. And if this is true, another thing, whatever would be the cause of this would have to be something major. I already had pregnancy bounced around, but I don't think it would be the.
No, because she would know if that was what it was. Like, she seemed like if the messages are actually her and not a hack, like, she seems completely confused and devastated as to why all of a sudden it's been turned around.
Right. I want to say first, for like the people that did come after me, it's fine. Like, you can totally come after me. It's cool. I did say that I don't like that I hate those girls. I guess is a strong word. But in that same like statement is when I was talking about how much I respect the fact that they stuck together as three. I don't have to like them to respect what they do. Or nine, sorry. I don't have to like them to respect what they do, but I really do like that they were or are nine. Hopefully this is a rumor. On that note, this is crazy. Like, I was literally not that long ago like, man, I love that they're going to stick together for another 3 years. Like, that's so awesome. Congrats to them. I don't really care about their music, but congrats. And now it's like, maybe they're going to be 8. What? What do you mean they just said they were 9? What's
Right?
going on?
Like 45 minutes ago, I was planning on making tons of Toshi and Jessica death OTP jokes, and now I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, shit. It might be real.
This
I
might be
feel like
real.
the fabric
Somebody
of the
get that
universe
voice
is
behind
going
the
to
ice
tear
cream so you
apart
can eat
if
it in
this
the lab.
turns out to be real.
This is the thing. Like, that was posted at 6:30, and that's what makes everybody like sketchy. Now, first off, 6:30 in the morning isn't that early. People are awake at 6:30 in the morning, you guys. Like, you cannot discredit it because 6:30. Oh my God, that's so early. They're
Especially if
idols.
you got to get on a plane.
Exactly. They're idols, and they're gonna get on a plane. They probably wake up at 6:30. It is now 10:12, and SM has not said anything. They're looking into it. Are you kidding me?
Right? And
What kind of filler
she
excuse is
got asked
that?
about it, and she said no comment, so this is not looking like...
Yeah.
I'm going to need,
No.
like, an entire bottle of hard cider for this.
You cannot say that. This is the biggest group. If this was a hack, it would take 5 minutes. Like, boom, it would have been 6:35. This is a hack. We all threw
Right,
it in.
it would
That's
take
all
them
you
no
gotta
time
say.
to say it.
There wouldn't even be news. We wouldn't be here right now if there was no hack. Like, something happened. And that's why
Or
we're all
honestly,
here,
I
and
mean,
that's
they
why
wouldn't
everybody's
even have to
watching.
have said it was a hack. Like, if she had just shown up on the plane, like, it would have been done. Like, we would have been like,
Yeah.
yep, it's a hack. It was just so, like, no big deal. Like, they didn't even bother. But then I'm like,
Yeah, but
Okay,
that's the thing.
guys.
They know these rumors. They know these rumors are out there. They know everyone's talking about it. Reportedly, there's a rumor their stock is dropping already. I
4%.
mean,
That's not a rumor. That is fact.
okay,
4%
so that's fact.
is up.
SM stock is dropping because Jessica possibly may be out of SNSD. I mean, this is serious business. This is money for them. So this may be, I mean, this may be an emergency, meeting or something like that. I mean, this is this is their golden goose. This is their money. So they may be holding some sort of, strategic, emergency session to how to deal with this if this is the case. I mean, because can you imagine SM without Girls' Generation? Even as an eight-member group, I don't know. I was trying to kind of think, okay, their situation could turn out similar to TVXQ, but I don't think so.
I just don't understand, like, how you can have this large group know that there are these rumors and then not either, like, quell them and be like, it's not happening, or, yeah, it happened. Other than, I think Jessica beat them to the punch, got on social media before they did, and now they're like, well, let's figure out how we're going to spin this positively for us. Like, that's the only thing I can think of as to why they
Yeah.
aren't.
I mean,
Is that they're
if
like,
this is really the case, I imagine it's a situation where she, jumped the gun and, they're kind of sitting there like, well, we have to kind of come out of this without looking like dicks. So
How do you
and where are
jump?
the managers? Like, usually they're like really quick to like go in because they have all their passwords. They can delete anything they want. Why hasn't it been deleted yet? I think it's still up there. I don't think it's been deleted yet.
Because if she really left, she probably changed her password. I'm just saying. That's what I would do. That'd be the first thing I did. Change my password. Forget that. Like, I don't know. There's so much here. This is the thing, right? If you take this, the biggest thing and the thing that sticks out to me is it is 10. Like, we are 4 hours removed from the original statement and the blow up of the internet, and SM still has no answer for us. That is not good. There's no way you can spin that into a good thing. That's not good. There's no movement on like the Girls' Generation Twitter. There's no movement anywhere. Like everything is shut down. Nobody knows what's going on, and they have the stupid fan meeting, and they're not going to make a comment. So it's like, what is going on? We have no ability to figure out what's going on. All we know is it's got to be bad at this point because it's Girls' Generation. That's like the biggest group. Like, I mean, I don't think
they are the biggest girl group in South Korea and no competition.
they're the biggest group, period. Like, there's no boy group that has the same credentials right now that Girls' Generation has. They are the biggest group. They deserve, like, the attention that they get. They have 3 freaking YouTube videos that have over 100 million views. That's
A
nuts.
man got halfway into like the living quarters of the White House. We're just finding out today that a man got halfway into the living quarters of the White House with he had ammo in his car and I don't know, did he have weapons? It was a bad situation. He was intending on hurting someone. And that item is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 items down on the trends list on Twitter from Jessica, which is number 1, and SNSD, which is number 2.
It's crazy. I don't know. Like, this is absolutely mind blowing that this happened. So
Maybe SM
I'm
is
gonna have to
trying
switch
to
to
come up.
vodka before it's over.
Maybe
What did
SM
you
is
say,
trying to.
Tiara?
Sorry. SM is probably trying to gather a bunch of like information and all this stuff about Jessica, so they can spin it to make it seem like it's her own fault. That this is all happening. Just to, say like it's not our fault that this happened. It's her fault. If
Yeah.
this is all true.
That's that's the way I'm imagining if this is the case and she got to social media before they got to release any PR statement or anything. They're probably having an emergency powwow and figuring out how do we spin this but either way the fans are going to be pissed. I mean if she is out, there's no way they're going to be able to spin this. And in addition to that, interestingly enough, we haven't seen pictures of all the girls, but it seems that a few of the girls seem to be ticked off about this as well. Um, and
This
I mean, I just don't know how. I mean, how they can think that this situation can turn out good for anybody. Let's say if for example, if this scenario was for some reason Jessica got kicked out and maybe a few of the girls didn't care if it was because of a few of the girls, but she still got Hyoyeon, who is supposed to be a very close friend of hers. They said Tiffany looked very upset at the signing. Yuna looked kind of forlorn, and a few pictures I saw of her. I mean, that's gonna cause strife either way you put it. It's not like it's a united thing where where all anyway, regardless of who said what, if finger pointing or whatever, none, all 8 of them couldn't have been like Jessica's out. You know, if they were consulted about it or had anything to do with it or not. So even if they did sign the contract, I mean, then you've got 8 possibly disgruntled girls. I mean, that's going to have an impact on your group. Not to mention, I mean, the image, but I mean, just the group themselves. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much that can go wrong with in the aftermath of this that I don't even know where to begin. Like I said, I feel like if this is really true, that like the K-pop universe is gonna like explode. It's just gonna, I don't know, it's gonna be a big bang, and the whole thing is just gonna explode in a big glittery mess. I mean, I don't even, yeah.
It's
2014 is wild.
this is like the mole and SM is real. Like this shit is like this is way too much crap is coming and going in SM for there not to be somebody PO'd at SM. Like this is
Yeah,
crazy.
and you know what? We were the ones that first said it, Mole and SM. And you know what? I'm a solid believer. I believe it now. Somebody is
Somebody is out for
sabotaging
blood.
from the inside, because this is just too much.
when JYJ left, they left a mole there, and there was like, within the next few years, we're gonna need you to fuck up SM Entertainment.
We're taking it down.
Somebody went for SM's carotid artery and they just stabbed the shit out of it. This is awful.
I can't, like, honestly, I can't wrap my head around it because
No, like literally 45 minutes ago, I was laughing at how ridiculous this was, and people were upset, and I was like, guys, they just signed their contract. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah,
she's
when
gonna
I
go on
first
social
heard it.
media and be like, I got kicked. Like, please. And then I was like, she's
Why
not
haven't
at
they
the
said
airport.
why haven't they
Why
said
do they look
anything?
so upset? That's weird. Oh, okay, so she wasn't in Korea, so she's gonna be on a different plane. Okay, that's just weird, but whatevs. She's not at the fan meet. Like, she's just not there. I was like, oh shit. This is not going to end well. And then Tiffany was, when they asked her in the airport, she just said no comment. Like, why would you say no comment if it wasn't true? Like, what is the point of that? Like, that does not do anything to, like, oh.
Yeah, no. That's the thing, right? Like, from when I look at things that happen, I always think of it like, because this is a business, I have to think of this like a business. This is like literally the worst PR job. If you want to know how not to do public relations, SM right now. This is 100%.
SM every day.
All PR
Because-
students, this is how not to handle a situation.
If you'd like to get fired, please follow SM's example.
If you are a PR student right now and you are listening to this podcast, if you ever make this mistake, quit. Just don't ever be in PR, because
find
this is ridiculous.
another profession or job, because
You
Apply
suck
for
at
SM. Apply for SM if you think this is smart. Like, because clearly they don't understand. Like, you have this moment where you can completely disrupt the rumor, but Jessica's not there. Okay, well, okay, you have these girls here and they're coming to this fan meeting, so they have the opportunity to be like, oh no, don't worry about it. It's just, it'll get fixed or whatever. Like, and you have them all look mad, and Tiffany is like, no comment, real angry. Like, and you don't, if you can't control these girls and make them say things the way you want them to be said, don't let them be at this fan meeting. Cancel the freaking fan meeting. It's
Yeah,
still going
that's
to
the
look
other
bad
thing.
no
Like,
matter
why
what.
didn't they just cancel it?
I don't understand. Like, you put these girls in such a bad place. Now, if you're trying to say, oh, look, SNC can continue on with 8, you're not. This is not the effective way of doing it. There's way better ways than this.
Because it's
Make a
already
statement.
gotten messy.
Yeah.
Jessica's already made it messy, and then you cannot take it back.
You have to have a statement ready, and they don't have one. Like, if this is true, and she just found out this morning that she got kicked out, how did SM not have a statement prepared and ready to go to launch the minute they told her? It should have been like, one guy is going to tell Jessica, the other guy is going to post this on the internet, so nothing gets dragged. Like, there's no misconception. No, that's not what happens, of course. Because SM, why? I don't understand.
Right? Like, it's like if you knew you were going to kick her out, like, you should have had that, like, post ready. You should have had it ready for sending, and then the second you tell her, it's done. Like, get it out there before she has a chance to say anything. Like, if that's your job in PR, like, you suck. Like, if you know what's going to happen, like, I don't know how many times in a Mona will I have 9 people that will be all queued up, ready to go, and all they have to do is press send the second, like, the music video comes out, and it's done. And it's just a fight so you can press send fast. Like, how do they not know how to do that? Like, it's, ugh.
I work in business, and when we get rid of people, we know way ahead of time that they're going. Like, I know, I'm in the IT department, I know like a week out that we're going to get rid of this person on this day at this time. We need to get them out of the system. Okay, you're telling me I'm one person. You're telling me this giant company can't be like, hey, man, we're going to get rid of Jessica. We need to make sure she can't blow anything up. We need to take over all her accounts, everything. She's got to go, and she's got to go quiet. No, that's not what happened. There's no I can't wrap my head around how stupid SM is handling this. It's mind blowing to me.
I thought, at least with SM, with their money, because I mean this is like their biggest grossing group at this point. I mean I can't even believe that if allegedly this is true, that they would even be so lazy, so foolhardy to let something like this happen. I mean, it's just.
You know what is crazy about this whole fan meeting thing is because apparently Jessica is the most popular member in China. So the fact that you're having this this Chinese fan meet, and your most popular member there is not there, or most likely not part of the group, it's kind of. I bet like a lot of these fans are like just how many? I don't know. This is ridiculous.
I don't know. Here's another theory. This is one more on the side of being more positive. SM and Jessica may have disagreed about her activities like the clothing line, so maybe she could have gone on the offensive with the posting as her way of kind of acting out, and the silence could be some form of them trying to compromise. I don't know. That seems to be, this is a positive, I guess.
The one thing that does stand out to me is I could see her having her own clothing brand being an issue because it's going to cut sponsors. That's part of it, right? Because she's probably going to want to promote her own stuff. She's not going to want to promote a bunch of other people's stuff. But at the same time, she is a well-seasoned idol in an industry where she by now understands the way of the land. So she's going to rep sponsorship if she has to. Like, you're going to tell me clothing designers only wear their own clothes? Bull. Like, bull. They wear other people's clothes too. She doesn't have to just wear her own clothes. Is she going to wear her clothes when she can? Of course she is. She wants to put the image out there. But if they tell her, hey, we're sponsored by such and such, you got to wear their top. Okay. Like, she is a professional. She has proven that she can do things in a professional manner. All of SNSD has proven that they can act like professionals. What makes anybody think, and what would make SM think that she wouldn't do that? So unless SM explicitly told her, you can't have your own clothing label, and she was like, nah, I'm going to do it. Like, and I can't process her doing that. I don't think she would do that.
Some saying it's also maybe have to do with the rumored wedding or whatever. I don't know if it's true or not. But...
They disproved that already.
Did they?
That's another. Yeah, they disproved it. That guy was going to his best friend's wedding. There's like supposedly pictures of his best friend's wedding, like, and him being there having the rings because he was the groomsman. So the groomsman keeps the rings until the wedding day.
But I don't think that still stops the fact that it's possible she might be getting married to him.
I'm not saying that it stops that fact, but that was where the real issue came from, and they squashed it. And that dude made a statement. His company, I think, or no, he made a statement, and then SM made a statement, and then he made another statement, I think. But supposedly they squashed it. Now, I totally agree. He could be getting married at some point. They could be getting married. But I think it's like people just pulling strings like, oh, it's the marriage thing. I think it has to be more than that. I don't know. That seems, that just seems like pulling for strings to me. I don't know.
I don't know.
I could see the clothing brand before I saw like her getting married because I feel like she wouldn't react that way. You got to know if you're going to go and get married, you have to know that you're going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, I feel like that wouldn't cause so much.
I wouldn't say like it's the main thing, but I'm saying it could be like all these things combined together.
Right, yeah.
Like the ultimate big blow up. I don't know. I mean, this is crazy because the thing is, when I saw the news at first, I was like everyone else. I was like, it has to be kind of like a hack or, it's just somebody playing around. But then when then I was hearing that they were going to that they were heading to the airport, and in 2 hours after that to go to China. I was like, okay, well, once the photos come out of the airport and we see all 9 members, and rumor is over and it'll be done. But the moment those photos came out and it's only the 8 members, I was just like, oh.
Yeah, and for those of you that haven't, which I'm sure by the time this comes out and anyone listens to this, I'm sure everyone will have seen those photos and more. Hyoyeon's photo is so. I mean, if it's not Jessica leaving, she is really upset about something. It's almost like I don't want to look at it because it's intense. Her fingers, her hands are clenched. She seriously
looks like she's doing
devastated.
everything she can just to not break down.
Yeah.
Like, that is the most heartbreaking photo I think I've seen in quite some time. Like, her fingers are clenched, her glasses are on, she's not making any kind of eye contact, like, she's looking down. Like, her whole body is tense. Like, if it's not Jessica, something has made her really, really upset.
Her body language is out of control bad. Like, and I've heard, but I don't pay attention to SNSD. I don't look at all of their airport cams or anything. But I've heard that Hyoyeon is one of the members who's always happy getting off of planes. Like, she's always excited to see all the fans waiting for her and stuff.
That's true. So, I don't think I've ever seen her not smiling in those.
Right. So it's
pictures.
like, to see her that upset to the point where she's like not even acknowledging anybody, like for me that would be the same as if I watched like a Big Bang fan cam and YB looked like that. I would be like, oh, something happened. Something bad has gone down. Like,
or like Taesung when he had his when he had his whole driving accident and with the motorcycle driver, he was very like somber and everything, but usually he's like the smiley one, right? In Big Bang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
Yeah, the same kind of concept, right? Like, he sometimes looks like he's trying to get from point A to point B, but I think somebody was saying that that he's like said he has sleeping issues or something. But the one that always stands out to me is like Taeyang, because he's the one who normally interacts with the fans. He'll stop and wave and do all that cute stuff. If he was really upset, like during the whole Daesung thing, he was kind of upset, and so people knew like it was bad. But he did his best to look like he was trying to be happy. Hyoyeon looks really upset and is making no attempt to hide it. So it's like, I don't think she just woke up on the wrong side of the bed today. Like, I don't think there's that kind of coincidence going on here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really... So, okay, I guess let's go from the assumption that this is happening and Jessica is leaving and they're going on as 8. Just think about, how do you guys think this is going to change? Do you think it's going to change? Like, I hate to be so dramatic about it, but the landscape of K-pop so dramatically, how do you think it's they're the top group. I don't even think,
there's no group close to them.
boy group that comes close.
They're not close to them. They're not.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a Big Bang fan. I love Big Bang. They're not close. SNSD is so far ahead of any other group. It's ridiculous at this point.
I mean, do you think it's this is something that could like hurt like the entire how you wave? I mean, this is. I mean, those girls are. I mean, they're a whole industry upon themselves. So
It just, I guess, it just defines the fact that I think most of us know, but don't want to really know, is that nothing lasts forever, and everyone thought the Power of Nine would last forever. So without that anymore, I just think it changes everything, at least for a lot of people's perception of K-pop.
But I think people would have been, or at least their fans would have been okay if it was even a situation like the Wonder Girls, or one of them decided to get married or have a baby, and they were like, okay, well, we'll just, we'll disband and be on hiatus or whatever. But we're always, but there's always the whole, like I said, with them, there's always the, OT9. We'll always be friends. We'll always be nine. It's all of us in it together type of thing. So there's always that thing here, but the way that this is looking, it with people, with the backstabbing and the pointing fingers and everything, it looking like you know that things were not done in a clean way. I I think that's what is going to make it worse.
Well, you can't compare. The one thing that I have a problem with is you can't compare SNSD to Wonder Girls anymore because most of the Wonder Girls fans came to the realization that like their group was getting older and they spent so much time away that they weren't going to return to form.
Hmm.
Um, and the way that they released the information on her relationship was very respectful. It was very tasteful. Like clearly JYJ or JYP, sorry, like supported what she was doing. So when she got married, it felt inevitable, right? Like, oh, she's gonna
Mm.
get married. Like, it seems like the Wonder Girl fans, instead of freaking out, were like, we knew this day was gonna come. We're happy for her. She looks beautiful. Like everything that I saw was, oh my God, she looks so pretty. She looks so happy. Like everybody was excited. I was excited, and I don't even really care about the Wonder Girls. And I was like, man, that's so cute. Look how cute she looks. And then it was like, oh, she's gonna run off and have a kid, and so he's gonna move on and do acting and stuff. And I was like, this seems par the course for them. Like they spent so much time away. When they came back, they had their swan song, and they're going their separate ways now. They're living their life. SNSD was like the group. They stayed on top. They got on top and they never left. Like they stuck it out, and they went through their own trials and tribulations, but they kind of stayed away from really big, devastating scandals. And they were this clean group. And then the beginning of this year or the end of last year or whatever, we get these dating actual confirmed stuff coming out, and it's like, oh, that's kind of the road you take to prepare people for changes. And then we get like the crazy part is we get nine together, right? We get them all renewing their contract, 3 more years, and everybody's like, oh my God, they're still together, and then bam, Jessica's gone. Like, do I think it's going to change the landscape of K-pop? No. Um, do I think that it's going to change the Hallyu wave? Well, there's reports that it's already dying in Japan. It's not as popular as it used to be, and Kara is a big part of that. But do I think it's going to make people less interested in Japan? Probably, because there's only a couple groups that Japan really genuinely cares about, and SNSD is one of them. Do I think it's going to change like China and the West? I mean, a little bit, but I think people would still, if right
Or
now,
maybe just the way K-pop itself in Korea is. I mean,
no, I don't think it's going to change anything there. I think it's going
really.
to be the same. Did JYJ do it? They didn't change anything for so long.
Yeah, but I feel like this is, I don't know, something in me feels like this is different. Like I said, I was reading some of the fan comments and it's just already hysteria and
It's the first day. Do you remember when DBSK announced that they were suing? It went nuts. K-pop was a crazy world for like a couple months, and then people came to realize that it was over and you couldn't do anything about it, and what did we see? Do we see a difference in the way companies run their teams? I don't think so. We're still dealing with the same issues we were dealing with before. People who treat their employer or their artists like employees that they can control like robots. We still get that. That's still a complaint. People are still running out of SM. So it didn't really change anything. In the grand scheme of things, people freak out because it's big news. And this is really big news because SNSD is the big one. But when DBSK broke up, they were huge. They're ginormous. They have a Guinness Book of World Records for largest fan base. Like, they're huge. K-pop stayed the same. SNSD's gonna... Something's happening. I don't know what's happening. Something's occurring. If Jessica leaves, is K-pop going to change as a whole? No, but it's going to be a weird place without SNSD as 9.
Oh, just like a small quick update. I guess a new article has popped up. Right now it's just under rumor because there's been no confirmation. But apparently it says Jessica was planning to marry Tyler Kwan next year. She was working on fashion business with him.
Wow.
Still a rumor, but yep, that's...
So that's kind of along the lines of the other bits and pieces that we've heard.
I guess that's the ultimate combination of everything, right? Like,
yeah, pretty much. And still nothing from
SM.
SM Entertainment.
Really, don't ever run your PR firm like this. It will only get you, like, debt and sued.
you won't have a company. In the West, you can't pull this nonsense. Are you kidding me? We couldn't get away with this. You would never get work again as a PR company. Like,
in the West, they put you in a leaky sailboat and give you like half an oar and say, "Swim to the other fucking side of the ocean, bitch."
Yeah, and like you cannot get away with this. It is only this. Like, this is the kind of thing, and I can't process this in like Western terms because if somebody did this, we would if One Direction had this situation happen right now, we would already know. We would know everything. Like, every piece of dirt, we would know it because they would put out a statement, he would put out a statement, and all the dudes would put out a statement, and they'd all get on Twitter because they can't shut up on Twitter either. Like, none of the girls are on Twitter. None of SM is doing anything other than we're looking into it. What the heck do you have to look into it? She just said you kicked them out. What are you looking into then? Did somebody just tell her, like, did her manager run up on her and be like, "You're out of SNSD, get to stepping," and then they continued on? No, come on. Like, I don't know. This is ridiculous.
Maybe some JYP administrative guy like snuck in and put his like SME badge on instead of his JYP badge. Just like, "You're out, get out," and then they figure out who's the rat, who's the star.
Get out. All the girls want you out. Leave. Oh no. I'm not gonna ask anybody. I'm
the
just
Russian
gonna leave.
spy. My bet is on the Russian spy.
It's a Russian now?
But from what, like, the way she wrote
it's a Russian
like,
spy.
It seemed like it was like a meeting with her and I guess like staff members and the other 8 members from the way her thing, like how she wrote it. So I don't know. It's weird to me. Like if just like one person went up to her and told her that, like a staff member told her that. Because the way she wrote it made it seem like they were all in this big meeting and they were just like, they told her, "Sorry, but you're out." The members didn't sit there.
I just want to say I apologize for that bit of music. I went over to an EXO Tumblr, so I apologize for that. But
I don't know music. It's okay.
Apparently, there's something about Luhan is holding a picture of Chris. I don't know. It doesn't look like anything major to me, but I don't know, somebody's freaking out over. Anyway, sorry for that interruption.
I don't know, man. This is crazy.
Hey, maybe she's sleeping with Jay Park.
Oh my gosh. No. This is getting to K-drama levels of ridiculousness. I don't
even
even
with an AOMG shirt on, like, hey.
He wanted that octopus hair, like,
Oh no.
What about Crystal? Did you guys think if she's not in the group anymore, you think Crystal's gonna?
No, we're not. No, we know. No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, one crisis at a time. I can't handle like FX falling apart and Jessica leaving. Like, no, I don't have enough vodka and rum in my house at the moment to do both happening at the same time. because I can't make myself a Long Island iced tea or an Irish car bomb.
Okay,
So,
no, time out. Because this has to be addressed. I'm sorry. Like, I have to ask you because you are the SM fan, and I would ask Guru Shoes here, but genuinely, are you worried she's gonna leave? If this is true.
If this is true, FX is done. There's no way Crystal is going to stay in a company if Jessica was forced out. It's not going to happen. Those two are so close.
That's what I was thinking too.
The only reason Crystal is in SM is because of Jessica. Crystal didn't want to join SM, but Jessica, they brought Jessica in, and then Crystal came. So
right, that's what I understood.
I actually thought I read something, and forgive me if I'm wrong, that I read something where the Jung sister said that Crystal was actually approached first.
She was, and she didn't really want much to do with it. But Jessica also wanted in on it, and so basically they're like, well, you can have Jessica right now because Crystal's too young, but if Jessica debuts, then Crystal will think about coming to you guys. And lo and behold, Jessica debuted, and Crystal became a trainee, and the rest is history. Like, Crystal was definitely the one they really, really wanted, but they got a 2-for-1 deal, and they weren't going to turn their backs on it. Like, that's the other thing. Like, this is crazy. Like, Jessica's been with SM since she was 11 years old. SM is a shady company. SM does not give a shit about anything but loyalty. Loyalty is the only stock that they trade in, and it just doesn't make any sense.
And blind loyalty at that.
And blind loyalty.
They don't. I disagree. They don't deal with loyalty. They deal with you listen to me. Like all of their artists, you're gonna tell me that DBSK's issue was loyalty? They were super loyal and they got tired of not getting paid. I don't blame them.
That's what I'm saying. They want them to shut up and take their pennies.
That's not loyalty. That's they deal with people who are willing to be completely and utterly controlled. That's what they deal with. Loyalty is the fact that like there's artists at other labels that have been there for over like 10 to 14 years and they still want to be there. There's plenty of SM artists now that are getting taken care of probably and they want to stay there. I think that SNSD is one of those groups that was getting taken care of. I still think that probably the other girls are getting taken care of. And that maybe this is just a situation where they refused to budge and they were like, nah, we can go without her now at this point, which is mind-blowing logic. Like, she's so popular. How could you even fathom saying that? But I don't think they deal with loyalty, and I think there's other labels that are worse than SM in that, like where they'll just drop you. Like if you don't want to listen, you're gone. You know, there's other labels that are worse than that. But I wouldn't say that they deal in loyalty. They deal in you're willing to be controlled. That's not loyalty.
Well, it's something. Weren't they the ones that were doing like the blood contracts, or was that someone else?
Oh, I think that was like a rumor. I think that was like a flaming rumor to all of the big three that they all do like crazy slave blood contract things.
But that was something that was done in the early days. I don't know.
Yeah. All I'm saying is YB and GD have been on YG for like 14 years. They're still there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's another thing that you mentioned too, was the girls having leverage is another reason that this is so weird to me, is because I thought that this wouldn't even be something that could happen, because, you know, they all seemed like like you said, the girls are taken care of. They're definitely making money at this point. They're at the top of the company, pretty much.
They're at the top of K-pop. Like
at the top of K-pop, yes. And
how do they not have that pull? That's what's shocking to me. Like I imagine, and maybe this isn't true, and I'm just thinking of it because I see how big they are, and I'm like, how do you not protect them? Like, how are you not on your knees worshiping every great thing that SNSD is doing for you? But they are so popular. I can't imagine any other label that would be like, no, you can't do that, and then be like, we're gonna do it. Like, and then you stay there and you stand your ground and you say, get the heck out. That idea that could have possibly happened just now completely boggles my mind. Like, I can't handle that because they're so popular. I would do anything if I was a CEO of a big company and SNSD came to me and they were like, "We're gonna leave if you don't let us do this," I'd be like, "Yeah, you can do it. Go for it. Do your thing. I don't care. Just keep making me money. What do you want?" Like, I don't know.
It's not even like they have like put that much effort in their songs or music videos anymore. Like they just put out like an ABC song, like here's the chorus, here's the bridge, and it like makes millions and millions of dollars for them. And like they come back once a year, and they're still the #1 moneymaker for SM. Like why would you mess with that? Why?
I bet you there are producers out there willing to pay SM to give a song to SNSD. Like, that's how big they are. I guarantee you there's somebody who's like, "I will give you the song for free. Just take it. Just put my name on it and just take it. Let it be my music." Because you know that by association, people will care about them. If they produce a good song, people are going to care about the producer. That's the pool that SNSD has. They are huge. Like, I don't want people to misunderstand the fact that I don't like them. I respect their group as a whole. Their level of ginormousness is mind-blowing to me. The way their fans love them is crazy. It's a little intense for me, but it's nuts. And I respect the fact that they stuck it out for so long and stayed on top for so long. Even if I don't like what they do, they're still incredible for doing it for so long. And they're dealing with bad schedules just like everybody else, but they hold it together really well, clearly. Like, and then it's like 2014 hit and everything went nuts, and now we have this, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I got into K-pop as long as I've been here. SNSD's been here.
Yeah.
I saw from the beginning, like SNSD's been here. So I'm just like, I've seen that. I'm looking at potentially watching the two juggernauts of the K-pop industry crash in the time that I've been here with DBSK and now SNSD, and that's like I don't even want to do it anymore. Just like I don't know.
No, because then we won't have a podcast without you, Tim.
No, I'll be here, but I don't understand. How do you take out like you're taking out the Holy Trinity? If you take out Big Bang, I'm out. Like a deuce.
That's the thing. I'm like, there's no one with that kind of. There's no one even close to what they have, you know, to what Girls' Generation has. There's none of the girl groups are even close to that. It's so.
The closest one is probably To Anyone, and they're so far behind too. Like.
This made me laugh. Someone wrote on a netizen wrote, "I suppose this makes Sistar the #1 group by default then."
Oh, that's
yeah!
So...
No, sorry.
Sorry. Kara's like, I'm down with that.
They promote more than To Anyone, so I can't even say anything. I got nothing for that one.
But yeah, just for those, just want to let you know, you guys, that we did this special podcast was not planned, and we're still waiting. There's still nothing from SM. A lot of people, going hungry, missing their dinners, skipping classes to try and find out what's going on.
I am missing Sleepy Hollow for this.
I want to know what SM... Because now SM, I guess with the new article, SM's implying that she's slacked at her SNSD duties and that she's missing events. Like, what events is she missing? Like,
I just saw that. Jessica planned to marry Tyler Kwan next year, working in fashion together, neglected SNSD activities. I'm like...
What activities? Like, they don't do crap anymore except for, like, minor appearances because that's all they have to do, and it will blow up, and it will get them whatever they need. Like, they show up at movie premieres, they show up at music shows, they do their, like... Don't understand.
This is what I really don't understand. Jessica wants to have a fashion label, right? She wants to make clothes and stuff. She probably wants a lot of control in it. I get that. Why not? You really think... I have a hard time believing it was a hard sell to come up to SM and be like, put some money into this project, and we'll give you stocks in it or something. Like, how do they not want to get any piece of this? If Jessica came up to me right now and was like, I'm gonna make clothes, I'd be like, you know how many of her fans are gonna buy those clothes even if they're ugly? Give her money. Just give it to her. Have you seen the way she dresses? She'll be fine. She's just gonna make a bunch of basic clothes and everybody's gonna want to buy it. Like, just give her the money.
She'd be like You know what? I could see her being like the Lauren Conrad of like K-pop, except more successful.
I
You
don't know who that
know, you know,
is.
That's the
Elsie from
Hills
like
girl.
from like the Hills and those shows, Laguna
I don't know.
Beach.
She made her own clothing line, and it was really crappy, but everybody loved it. So
Yeah,
It's actually successful. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
no, that's
yeah.
what
the
I don't
thing is,
understand.
Jessica dresses really well. She just dresses very basic. Like, she doesn't wear anything crazy, but she is put together so nicely that every time I see her, I'm just like, man, she dresses really well. Like, I can't ever knock her when I see her in fashion because I'm like, she's killing it. I don't know. Like, so I don't know what you want me to say. But I think it's kind of, but her like the clothing that she picks isn't like crazy high brand name because she doesn't need to. She just wears whatever looks good on her, and I think that's good. I don't know if it's her dressing herself or she's got some awesome stylist. I have no idea, but she kills it. And now she wants to do some sort of fashion line. Are you kidding me? Just give her the money. Just give her her money and let her go live. She wants to get married? Let her go get married. Who cares? Are you kidding me? Like, just keep giving her money. You really think that SM is going to lose more letting her get married than they are getting rid of her completely? I If SM believes that, they are so mind-numbingly stupid.
Right,
Like
especially with how positively most of the dating rumors have been taken. Like most people were like,
except for the
"Oh,
Bacon one,
cool."
right?
Well, yeah, but that's because EXO fans are insane.
Yes.
Like if
yeah.
it had been anybody else, everyone would have just been like, "Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
fine."
the
That's,
SNSD
that's
fans-
literally been like the mood today. Oh, so and so from SNSD are dating. Oh, good for
Yeah,
her. Get
when
that tail.
the
Dawn.
Tiffany and the Nikon thing came out, everybody was just like, "Oh, well, he's not really that good looking." Like that's all I saw were people like, "Oh, he's not that good looking," and then there were tons of people who were like, "Oh, get it, girl," and I was like, "See, this is the reaction you're supposed to have." Like, and then the EXO one, I feel like most of the freak out was EXO fans. Like
Yep.
the EXO fans were the ones losing their mind when Sooyoung came out as dating. Nobody even cared. Like people were just like, "Hey, good job." Get it, girl, and everybody moved on. And I'm just like, and Yuna, when Yuna came out, everybody was like, "Oh, he loves you, dude. Yeah, get it." Like,
Yeah.
what the heck? So many of them are dating. Like, is it really that crazy to imagine we might have one of them get married? Come on, like, come on, really?
And even if she
especially in this
wanted to like
culture.
especially if she wanted to leave, even if she wanted to leave after she got married, like the proper response would have been like, "All right, we're gonna just tell everybody you're getting married, and then she'd like to leave." Like that would have gone over so much better than I'm kicking her out because she wants to get married. Like that's not gonna go over well. Like what in your bright mind, if that's the reason that this is happening, it's well she wants to get married and leave. Like why would you think
Well,
that
that's
would go
why a
over
lot of
better
people
than?
think there's got to be something more behind it. But I'm afraid, you know what I'm afraid of if this is something that there's more going on behind it, it'll be like the Jay Park thing where we never really find out if this is the case, that we'll never really find out what the real reason is. Like we'll get this whole thing. Well, she wanted to get married and have a fashion line, but then they have, but the real reason, nobody's gonna know. We're just gonna keep it, which is complete bullcrap. Um, I was kind of ticked off when JYP and them did it. I can see why, but I feel like that might happen with this situation as well. I don't know. I feel like especially with um with Korean fans, they're very they stick together, and they're very dedicated to their idols, of course. So if there's something that they don't want to get out, or they're like this is only between fans or people here, they're not going to say anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I just this is crazy. Like, and also we're like what 5 hours deep now. Where's the announcement for the new group that's supposed to replace SNSD? Where's that? We got it with Red Velvet. I need
Right, this would be like the
I-
perfect time for YG to come out and be like, "So remember that SNSD group I said I had that I was gonna debut? Right now, bring it out!" Like,
Okay.
boom,
And they're
use
gonna
it.
get bombs in the mail like bomb packages or whatever. They will
Time
get
out.
so much hate.
On that note, a friend of mine, the minute this news came out, the way I found out, a friend of mine sent me that and was like, "Oh my God, justice for Ilgin Squad," and I was like, "Oh no,
Oh god.
why are you doing this?"
My friend sent me a picture of all of A Pink just cackling. And I was like,
I saw
oh.
that. Somebody posted that on Ramona. Shoutouts to you, dude. I don't know who did it, but good job. I laughed.
I mean, some people are like, "Oh well, Red Velvet's your turn," and I'm like, you should be hoping for Red Velvet to get out of that place. If I were
Right.
them,
Run, Red Velvet, run.
far away, in other direction, Starship or
Yeah.
somewhere.
They can't. They already signed away their youth to them. So,
Yeah, my God, this is nuts, dude. Like, and there's like, okay, again, business. Their stock is dropping. That is like the legitimate most important thing. Like, that is the first thing they should think about because that is literally an impact on how much they are worth. They still haven't said anything.
Right,
What?
like if they're playing chicken with Jessica, like now would be the time to just call her bluff and be done with it. Like she's winning right now if they're playing a game of chicken.
You
Like,
can't play chicken with a member of your most popular group. It would be one thing if, like, Irene from Red Velvet was like, "I'm gonna leave if you don't let me get married." They'd just be like, "Get out!" Like, what do you mean?
peace out.
See ya. Like, are you serious? They don't care. But you're talking about SNSD. They're established. People love them. They win. They literally don't even have to show up and they get in the ranking. Like,
Yep.
everything they touch is gold. Everything. What are you doing? What is wrong with you right now? I don't get it. It's mind blowing to me.
This doesn't make any sense. Like I can't put any kind of logic to this at all. Like none.
It's 11 there. We still have nothing. 11. That news came out at 6:30. I don't know. I don't know what you want.
It's like, just come out with something. Just something.
Give me anything. Yeah, like, give me something.
Like I don't need the whole story, but just say yes or no. Figure the rest of it out later. But right now, just a yes or a no. Like this is not going to end well for you.
I mean, if the whole Jessica meeting up with the lawyer, the JYJ's lawyer, is true, then I guess that she'll be joining JYJ and they'll be called JYJJ.
The only thing is that, like, we'll
JYJ
never see
squared.
Jessica on, like, variety shows or music shows ever again.
Yeah, so what? She'll still make money. Look at how rich JYJ is right now. Who cares?
Yeah, but, I can
They're
understand.
balling.
I feel for their fans, though. It's like, they get to get their music and see them, but, I mean, that has to suck to be blacklisted
Yeah.
like that.
I think it's ridiculous, too. Oh my God, it's gonna be weird. Especially, it would be really weird if she went to the same label as JYJ. I would just be like, so is this where all the SM artists are going?
That was their
Hey,
whole
what's
point.
some more
in
great
putting it
news for
together.
2014?
What's up?
Siguri's back in the hospital.
Oh, I saw that. Even though I haven't seen anything as to yet as of why.
Has a fever. Wait,
Jesus.
Sungri, right? We're talking about Sungri from Big Bang, right?
Oh, I see. High fever and fainted. They're checking his liver and blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody check me out of 2014. Wake me up when it's 2015.
Right? Like, can we just pretend this year did not happen? Like, this has been the worst year ever. I
Year
hate
of the
this
Horse is totally cursed. I don't know. I don't know what anyone else says, but
I'm
Yeah.
totally down to get rid of this year.
All right,
Like,
you know, we need to shoot the horse. Like, put the horse out of its misery. Bring it to the backyard.
put the horse down.
face,
no more
and
horse
call
year
it.
ever.
Why would you? I'm the year of the horse. How can you say that?
Sorry. Your year has to go. You need a new animal. I don't know what to tell you.
That's it. We're replacing you with the what is it?
We want to keep you, so we'll bump you up a year. Do you want to be younger or older? Take a pick. We're gonna bump you up a little bit.
I'll be younger, thanks.
Okay, so we'll bump up your year a bit. You'll be a year younger, and you won't have to be in the cursed year of the horse. We don't want to get rid of you. We just want to get rid of the year.
It will be the year of the horse. It shall now be the year of the cat. He's been reinstated into the zodiac.
We'll find out if we can
Baruba. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, this is just crazy to me. Like, yeah, this came out of nowhere, and
Man, this takes me back to my old like journalism days in college where you would just sit waiting for breaking news and you just be sitting there just waiting for nothing and with cameras and phones, everyone's just sitting there and it's like, what are you waiting on? It's like for somebody to come out and give some sort of announcement.
I just want
And
to know. Like I'm at the point now. It's gone on so long. I just want to know if there's any reason for us to be watching this. That's it. Like I'm just at that point where it's like, what is next? Because there's clearly going to be a next step. Are I just don't know. She can't sue because you're allowed to be released from your contract. Most contracts are built in so that if somebody wants to get rid of you, they can, as long as they don't get rid of you for like something that's like unethical, right? Telling
yeah,
somebody, and I don't know how contracts work in Korea, but I can't believe that her making a clothing line, as long as they say, oh, she wasn't, living up to her, or she was neglecting her responsibilities as part of the group that she's under contract with, they can get rid of her for that. But it's like, what happened? Like, I need to know what has occurred to make this whole thing happen, and why hasn't SM told us anything when it's SNSD of all groups?
And why would you do it right before a fan meet? Do it after the fan meet.
Yeah,
yeah,
and why would you
that's
not
just
get rid of the fan meet?
that makes even less sense.
Like, let her go to the fan meet. She's Shauna's favorite SNSD member, and then right after be like, by the way, you're out.
See ya.
I mean, the fans in China have to know what's going on. I mean, I'm sure they know what's going on, and then they see them coming in as 8. I mean, and it.
Wait, has the fan meet even happened? Because it's still morning time over there. Like
It has, and it's still happening, but there's already reports that she's not there.
Yeah, there's just
We-
only 8 of them showed up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was verified that she's not there.
Yeah,
'cause I just saw like airport pics. That's all I saw. So I didn't realize that it's already happening. The fan meeting.
well, yeah. I mean, to the point where they've already like arrived, so
We know
they
at
know
least
who's there,
for
who's not.
sure they've talked to SNSD. Like, there are accounts of the no comment thing and stuff. It's clear that they at least met with news. I don't know how fan meetings work, but I'm assuming you get probably press first and then you get the fan meets. With big groups, I would imagine you get your press first and then you get your fans to go in there.
Here's a comment from Netizen Buzz. What if this is part of Shia's leader Li Hu's plan to take down the industry?
Oh no! Come on, get out! Get out of here, Netizen Buzz.
But this has already made Naver and everything, so it's already on the popular Korean internet news circles. So I mean, they've got to say something. They've got to say something.
They
soon.
won't. It's SM. They won't. They've dug this hole. They haven't dug all the way down to the middle of the earth yet, so they're not stopping anytime soon.
No, it's kind of messed up. I laughed at it anyways. On the Mona, someone was like, oh well, they posted a gif of A-Pink like waving and stuff. So it was like, oh, A-Pink is the next #1 girl group.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I mean, they
Well,
already.
you know what? If this does happen, that's going to be like the first thing people like think is who's going to be the #1 girl group after this. And I don't know. Even if they went on with 8, they probably would still be so far above everyone else.
I think going on with 8 will humble them, actually. I don't think they're going to be near as far away as they are right now. I think their success in being this far away is the fan base that's been absolutely diehard loyal to them, and they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose part of that, especially if it is the way people are wording it. Like, the girls turned on Jessica. Then why should your fans stay if you're not loyal to one of your members? That's. I think if this is true, and they continue on as 8. It's not going to be like when 2PM continued on without Jay Park and blew up. It's going to be SNSD is slowly going to drop. I'm not saying they're not going to win, but they're not going to be as successful as they were before. I don't expect any of their videos to hit 100 million views again. Like, I think it's going to take a shot at SM because that's the only way to prove to SM that they messed up. If we just go out and love SNSD and support them and give them all the money, then SM doesn't care. We've proven to SM that no matter what happens, they can still be successful. DBSK is not as big as they used to be when they had JYJ. That is how you make an impact. When your fan base has to turn on you, your loyal fans that have been there from day one, that's how you knew you messed up. Like, that's the only way you tell somebody what you did was wrong. What happened here was wrong. If you just go and support it, it's not going to work. Korean fans know that. Like, we talk about how they mindlessly love groups, and that's true. They also turn. They will turn. I guarantee you they're going to lose a giant chunk of their fan base if it is the way they're wording it, where everybody turned on Jessica.
Dude, Sodes are already like going after a couple of members. I forget which 2 members they are, but they're already like at each other's throats for specific member fandoms. Like, it's already a mess.
Yeah, because specifically because of the way Jessica's first message from her Weibo or whatever account, when she said, I was informed by my company and 8 others. So that's kind of implying, that some of the other girls or the other girls were implicit in what happened as well. And so some people are taking that as a personal insult because they're like, well, this must have been such and such's, idea because of course she isn't like Jessica, or, taking that and running with it basically.
Yeah, I don't know. This is nuts. Like, I have so many friends who are just SM stans, and I'm like, man, I genuinely feel bad right now for SNSD fans because not only are you in this position where your group might be done or might lose a member, but you also don't know. So beyond just being stuck in the cycle where it's like, oh, I have to deal with the fact that a member is leaving, like, it's potentially, we still don't know. We don't know if it's true. We have no idea. We might come here tomorrow and be like, so, it's all a ploy and they fixed their things, or they are not a ploy, but something did happen and they saw the impact and they fixed it. But there's SNSD fans right now that are sitting there like, I have no idea what's happening with my group. And I feel for those people. That sucks. Like, as much as I rag on a group, I don't want to see anything bad happen to groups. Like, I really don't. I make jokes about it. I have fun with it. I'm just kidding. I don't want anything bad to happen to SNSD. I just was commenting about how great they were as 9. Having them as 8 is not what I was, commenting on. I don't want that. I want to know what's going on, though, and it sucks, and I feel for all the people who are sitting there on edge. This is the same as when DBSK went through it. I don't like DBSK either, but man, like, my friends do, and I had to sit there and see everybody suffering, like, what is going on with my group? What is happening? And nobody knows. We have 0 answers. Like, not even the semblance of an answer, really.
Yeah, some people are saying that they think this is a Sully-esque stunt that she might be pulling, but I don't know if this has as much in common with what Sully did as some people.
Sully controlled hers way better, or they controlled Sully way better. So I don't buy that.
Yeah,
I don't buy that at all.
Yeah, and
we didn't hear anything from Sully saying that her members told her to not do stuff anymore. They continued on without her. Like, I don't buy that.
Yeah, close to noon in Korea, and no statement yet, or already maybe noon.
It is
11:12 right now over there in the morning.
Okay, so
isn't it? Because I thought it was 12:12 because of they don't do spring forward.
I'm looking at a Korean Standard Time thing right now, and it's 11:12 right now.
Okay, maybe they do it. I'm just crazy. Oh, crack.
Wow. I hope you guys.
Oh no, because we haven't fallen back yet. I'm on crack. Never mind.
Lay off the crack, dude. Crack is whack. Come
It's
on.
more like lay off the hard cider, but that's the only way I'm gonna survive tonight.
Oh my
Green
goodness.
apple. It's the way to go.
Oh, I didn't know there was green apple cider. I'm gonna have to try them.
Yeah,
Is it the
Angry
Reds?
Orchard green
Oh,
apple.
Angry Orchard. Okay, yeah.
Reds. We do not drink that caca up here.
I think Angry Orchard is just as bad. I don't know what you want. We have that down here, and it's not good either.
Green
If I want spiked apple cider, I will get apple cider and spike it myself. I'm gonna have my own good time.
All I want is I want like a huge chocolate chip cookie right now, a big bowl of ice cream, and some vodka. You want to know? I have none of that. Hate USM. At least give me a warning so I can go to the grocery store first.
Yeah, I was like, I hope you guys have some snacks or something. I don't know.
Closest I got is like pepperoni.
We may not even get this whole thing resolved. This may not even. We may not find out anything until what would be morning our time. Because I could see them waiting until evening or nighttime in Korea to maybe say something, which unfortunately would be morning for me.
Yeah. We're probably gonna have a part 2 of this podcast
Yes.
after they release their statement.
Be like part 2. Crystal walks out.
You know, like, the crazy thing is, and I can feel it already because it's probably what I'm going to mention too. Like, if she does leave, that's what I'm going to be watching for. Like, so is Crystal gone too? Because if you lose 2 groups, or you lose parts of 2 groups over this scandal, like, what does that say about SM as a company? That's what I really want to know. Like, what are the genuine sentiments? I wish this is a moment where I wish like people could call in, so I could be like, call right now and talk to us and tell us what you think about SM as a company, because they are potentially going to lose 2 people and 2 staples of 2 of their groups. Like, sure, FX is the redheaded stepchild. They still win every time they come back. Like, as much crap as people talk about them, they still win all of the time. They still sell stuff.
They
They're
actually
moving.
have the number 2 highest grossing album this year, and it only came out like a month and a half ago. And they have the second highest in physical sales, and it's like the 3rd highest in digital sales. 2.5 weeks.
For like
2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks. So, like, you can't tell me they're a redheaded stepchild. I would love to be that redheaded stepchild. Are you kidding me?
And that's what the
up.
shortened publicity and everying. Imagine if they actually.
Yeah, and that's for the year. That's not even like for the month of August. That's for the year. They've already outsold Sistar. They've already outsold like A Pink. They outsold like everybody.
Right now, I'll shave my face. I'll be an FX if I'm the redheaded stepchild. Please, I would love to be the redheaded stepchild.
I'm pretty sure Jay Park already called that.
Oh, probably, yeah.
It was ready to be part of Secret.
He was way more convincing as a girl than I was.
He's ready.
Oh, goodness.
He's way more convincing than I am. I can't say anything there. I saw him dance, and that's it. Game over.
I mean, this kind of also when the situation with Hwa Young from Tiara happened, when she left the group and left CCM, because her twin sister is also in CCM. She's in the was it?
She $5. She got put in Tiara for a minute too, right?
No, that was her twin is in $5.
I know her twin was in $5, but I thought she did something with Tiara too.
Oh, I don't.
No, she did something with Speed. The boy.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, no, I know that because she was in their boy group is the other half of what's it called? Their co-ed school.
Co-ed, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Speed is that group. The male side that was the group. But
I could have sworn she did something.
I'm not really sure. But but her twin sister is still with CCM. A lot of people thought that she was also going to leave too, because her sister was like pretty much, kicked out, but she hasn't. So I mean, it's possible that Crystal would want to leave with her sister if Jessica does leave, but it could also like maybe something in her contract that won't let her leave. Because I mean, Crystal's currently filming My Lovable Girl. Like, can she just leave like that? I don't know.
I don't know. Sully apparently would like to argue that you can just bounce if you want.
But at least Sully was finished with the filming the movie. I mean, I don't know.
But she missed all the appearances. It
Well,
depends, I guess,
I
right?
don't know. I
I don't know.
mean,
I bet she can't leave, but I don't think there's plenty of people who have fought their contract and just bounced. Like, so who knows? I don't know. She might just bounce and be like, "No, I'm not going back." Whatever. People have tried to do that before.
Yep. I don't know. But this is all really crazy and just. I'm just wishing SM would say something right now, but nothing is popping up.
I know, I keep like super refreshing, like it's gonna change and something magically is gonna show up and be like, it's okay guys, nothing happened. This is just a very bad dream. Wake up! There's an SSD comeback tomorrow. And I'll be like, yay!
all I know is people are posting links to all of the Korean news outlets are picking it up now, so they're gonna have to say something.
Someone wrote Taming sacrificing members of SNSD so he can get a full 2-disc album.
Oh,
Some people are making so many jokes, and it's just like, I guess this is how people are like coping with this. They're just making so many jokes right now.
To be honest, if anybody is sacrificing Jessica, it's Kahi, because she needs to keep that face young and pure, and she sacrifices young people for it. I swear to God.
I genuinely believe that because she is way too pretty for her age, and that's impossible.
That
I'm
was
pretty
the
sure
whole
that's
point
the
of the
reason that
graduation
Cletus
system
has
in
so
after
many
school.
trainees and they never debut. It's so that she can just suck the life out of their souls and send them off on their way and stay as young as she is.
Yep.
That was the whole point of the graduating system.
She just eats them at the end.
She just eats them at the end. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the exact reason 17 exists and has yet to debut, even though they've existed for like 2.5 years now. It's because she just sucks off the soul of like 13 and 14-year-old boys and girls and just eats everything inside of them and leaves their hollow shells outside.
Whoa,
Oh, so graphic.
I think. Oh, SM. There's an update from SM. I'm trying to find it though.
What? What? What?
Apparently,
Oh,
there's
God.
an update.
Oh,
What?
What's the update?
I'm trying to look for it. Like
Break the news.
AKP apparently post something, but I'm not seeing it pop up. Hold on.
I'm refreshing furiously so I can't see anything.
What? Yeah, apparently AKP wrote something, but I see the link, but it's not opening. I don't know if so many people are trying to get in or.
Our favorite site.
I hate that site.
I know. I'm like,
I like how you want to just make that clear.
Justice
like
for
I
Alien.
don't want to click, but I need to know, and it's like killing me because half of my soul is dying that I'm giving AKP what they want, and I'm clicking
won't
on
go.
their links, and then the other half is me like, I need to know what's going on. I need to know if I need to put like a prayer shrine and a morning shrine up for like both of my groups. Like, let me know.
Oh my God! Somebody linked me the statement.
Well, apparently it's an exclusive.
Oh,
Like,
I see. Exclusive statement. Okay, so all K-pop, of course. I mean, for some of us who
Scumbags.
do not like them, but they got the information first. Exclusive statement from SM Entertainment regarding Girls' Generation's Jessica leaving the group. Earlier today, we were all shocked with Girls' Generation's Jessica's Weibo update about being dropped from the group. We reached out to our contacts at SM Entertainment, and they did not confirm nor deny the Weibo post. Instead, they vaguely stated, "We cannot disclose what is going on yet, but we are reaching out to the proper people to find out the truth of the matter."
so there's nothing new.
This is-
We went into AKP for that. Now I feel gypped. They are scumbags. I hate
now I
them
feel
more
dirty
now.
because I went to their site.
Ugh. Now I have no
Yeah.
new information and I'm dirty. Like, ugh.
I'm glad you
I'd
guys
rather
said
like
it because
roll
I
in like
didn't.
skunk pee than like go onto this and ugh.
Scumbags. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I totally. I mean, wow, egg on my face. I'll eat crow right now. Like, if it's really over marriage, they're stupid. Like, I can't fathom how stupid that this
Even
company.
if they say that, like I said, I don't know. I have a hard time believing. I'll always believe that there's like something beyond that they're just not saying.
I don't
Telling you,
think
it's
that
Jay Park's
I don't
baby.
know.
Jay Park's baby.
Could you imagine though?
That'd be an ugly baby.
That's kind of mean.
Well, you think about it. I mean, they both have very sharp features. Like, that face would be sharper than, like, Angry Birds. Like, that is not a good look.
Hey man, you never know. It could be a cute baby. Tablo is not attractive at all, and he made a really cute kid. So
Yeah, but his wife's attractive.
that's one person though. Jessica's attractive, so I don't know. I don't know what your point is.
She's cute, but she is
And
not
this
attractive
is
enough
also
to wipe
not
out the
counting
Jay
any
Park.
extra surgery or whatever done to the person that's not going to affect their kid, obviously.
Right, of course. But I still think that Tablo is way uglier than Jay by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sorry. Like, there is no world in which Tablo is better looking than Jay, aside from Goo Goo Wacko world where everybody's blind. And then Tablo is way more attractive because he has a way better personality. That's all
Well,
you got.
here's an update. Apparently, Jessica's in New York City.
Hey, she's here. I gotta
And,
go look at her.
See you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Jessica and Tyler Kwan were spotted at New York
Kiara?
City airport arrivals about 5 minutes apart.
Kiara, I'm sending you out on assignment.
I live,
Okay.
I live
Get out
about
there.
I live about 10 minutes away by car to JFK.
I was gonna say, you gotta pick an airport and hope it's the right one.
Most likely it is JFK, but
If you're wrong, you're banned from the airport from the thingy for the rest of your life. We're sorry.
nah, man, I stopped going to the airport for K-pop idols so long ago. Like, I can't do it anymore.
I've
It's
never
too
been
much.
to the airport. Okay.
I'm too old. I'm like, don't touch me.
yeah,
Simmer down.
yeah, I am. Last time I went, it was just like, because it was when they had that big concert in New Jersey. Oh my god, I felt so much secondhand embarrassment at the airport. I don't think I could ever do it again. Oh my god.
I can't imagine like how crazy that would be. It was bad enough for me at the Hollywood Bowl at the airport. Even though I was more intrigued than embarrassed, just like you guys have been sitting outside all day, really? Kind of thing. But I can imagine people probably get a lot more crazy at the airport.
People are fans do get crazier at the airport. They're like, it becomes really chaotic, and it doesn't help. Like here, there's so much security here in New York, the airports. Oh my gosh, it gets even worse.
Oh my god, man. At the airport together, huh? I
Yep.
guess that's game.
I don't know. There's
I
all
don't-
this. Yeah, well,
They've got pictures of it and everything. Ugh.
yeah.
I saw the pictures, but I didn't know what it meant because it was all in like it was all on a Korean
Yeah,
website.
that
So I
was
was like,
from
oh, I'm
one
not
of the
gonna raise a flag. Who knows?
Korean websites, so I didn't know what it meant, if it was just an old picture of them together or what. And
Now,
Hey.
I have a question
mm,
because let's do the time here. If she got kicked out of SNSD in Korea at 6:30 in the morning, how the hell is she landing in the U.S. only 6 hours later when it's a 17-hour flight?
well,
That's
we
a
are
good point.
behind. We are behind them. I don't know
No,
if that
no, no,
caused
no.
anything.
It's
I
a-
can't.
Unless she posted it while she was in a layover, that's the only way that could have happened. She would have had to be in like some sort of layover and found out she was getting kicked out. But that would mean that she had no intention of being at the Chinese concert. The point is that she couldn't have made it this far with the Chinese concert coming.
Because
think
we're
that's the
getting the
point.
pictures now, but they would be a couple hours old before it got to the Korean website. So she would have
Right.
gotten to America like 3 hours after her post. Now, even with a time difference,
Well, no.
Still
It could have
very
been
close.
less than that.
well, no, oh
With
yeah,
the
but I
iPhone-
mean,
the
'cause, like,
culture of
when I went
iPhones,
to
it could have been
Japan,
right
I
now.
left at like 4 in the afternoon, and I arrived in like the West Coast at like 3 in the afternoon. So I got here an hour before I left, but I still had like a 6-hour flight to New York City. Like,
Wait, question. Because I don't have it open on my computer right now. Did she say specifically that she was told today, like on her post?
No,
was like-
she didn't. She just said that she found out. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this is the thing, right? We don't know where she was before this moment either. So she could have not been in Korea in the first place and been planning to make it to the fan meeting. right? That is also a potential. And maybe she was like, well, since I didn't make it, I guess I'll go to New York. Who knows where she really was at that time? Unless we know 2 days ago where she was. It's a mystery.
Maybe she was
But
told like yesterday, and she only posted it like today after she
I
made
think,
sure she had everything out the way. Like she was already gone from Korea and everything.
I mean, that there's the potential that she did that, yeah. There's always the potential that she did that. And if she did do that, then she probably wasn't a layover, and was like, okay, I guess now's the time. Like she already
Yeah.
planned to bounce. But it's the I can see why you would reason with the like it is impossible to be where she is currently because it is impossible for her to be where she is without knowing ahead of time.
I'm just holding on to any last shred of hope I possibly have.
I'm not blaming you. I'm not blaming
Well,
you.
well, here's some light translations. Of course, what you guys already mentioned with Dispatch having Jessica and Tyler Kwan photos. Apparently, Jessica was going to enroll at a design school in America to pursue her career as a designer. Dispatch cleared a lot of things up. She was preparing to go to a school in America, but wasn't planning on giving SNSD up either. What SNSD and SM are saying, according to Dispatch, is you can't use your label as SNSD to pursue other careers and make it your goal/aim.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, so she can't have her cake and eat it too, I guess.
So I guess since it's still news and it's part of today in SM's drama, apparently Sehun from EXO is unfollowing everyone from EXO on his Instagram. Geek. Anyways, I don't understand what's going on. Like, why is SM as a whole imploding right now?
That's why earlier
Well,
somebody was joking earlier that he's unfollowing everyone and just gonna only follow Miranda. That was people were making that joke earlier, but I don't understand it. I guess
That's a sweet. Could you imagine if that happened? That'd be it. I'd just go home. Like, this is the greatest day ever. I don't know what happened. I can't understand how all this drama occurred on the same day.
insane.
This is
Insane in the
ridiculous.
membrane.
All I can say is thank God Shiny has not touched soil in Korea in 2014 because that soil is poisoned. I swear to God.
Huh.
Is that why Timmy looked like that?
They're next.
Getting good too.
No,
is
no,
that
they're
next.
gonna stay in Japan and they're never. No, they're staying in Japan where it's safe.
Is that why Taemin looks the way he does? Because he
Taemin looks the way he does because he's a J-Jung copy and he spent a little bit too much time in the SM basement. But yeah, that soil. I mean, you saw those like red ass bags under his eyes. That's not a healthy look. Mm-mm.
Okay, guys, this is kind of a retread from what I said, but Koreaboo, the site Koreaboo, did a translation of the Dispatch article, and basically it's kind of the same information we know. Dispatch released breaking news of Girls' Generation at the airport, heading from New York back to Incheon at 4 a.m. Dispatch is reporting she was in New York all along, arriving at Incheon airport on September 29th at 4 a.m. She was reported to have been attending to personal affairs in New York. Tyler Kwan was also spotted 5 minutes later, following her off the same plane. According to Dispatch, Jessica was rushed out on September 29th, despite Girls' Generation's first fan meet in China scheduled for the next day, causing the rest of the members to be upset. It is also rumored that Tyler Kwan has previously accompanied Jessica to New York for the filming of Jessica and Crystal, and also to promotions in China. According to Dispatch, the two are an unofficial official couple, and the two have plans for marriage. The media portal further emphasizes that SM Entertainment and its staff members are well aware of the relationship. And SM Entertainment has revealed in an exclusive statement that they are reaching out to parties involved and will release a statement shortly. So
Maybe that's why they're taking so long. Maybe they're trying to reach Jessica, who's here in New York, but she's like, I ain't answering nothing. I understand.
I mean, I just came here to have a good time, and honestly, I'm feeling so attacked right now by all this drama.
You're feeling attacked. Ugh.
I'm listening. You can't say listen and stop talking.
No, that's exactly the point. I have nothing. No words. I'm just gonna sit in a corner. Like, if you could see me right now, this is not a good look. I look like I haven't slept in like 16 hours. I'm like in a big old like 80-year-old grandma like velour jumpsuit right now. Like, it is just. And I wish I was lying. It really is like a velvet jumpsuit. It's blue, by the way, with a big old fat hoodie. It's good times.
Well, if it helps anything, it sounds comfortable.
It's very comfortable.
I just wouldn't wear it to get, my mail or anything.
The waistband, like if I'm feeling really sad, I can pull it up over my boobs. It's the greatest feeling in the world. I'll tell you that much. That is some serious support right there, and it is very comforting.
Oh, Shannon. Let's see here. See anything on the Reddit?
Can't say things like release a statement shortly. In SM words, that's like 6 hours. Like, that's not okay.
Here's an interesting analysis of this, I guess. This is someone from Reddit. My sincerest guess at this point is that it's not a simple hacking story. SM would have released official statements in a heartbeat. We've all pretty much guessed that. Jessica just got back from visiting New York with her alleged boyfriend and looking into expanding her fashion business and possibly even going to a design school there. I'm guessing that her view of the next 3 years was based on less SNSD activities and increasing independence, while SM and the rest of the group's view was 3 more years of similar involvement with SNSD with some other projects on the side. The other members in SM were probably trying to encourage her to make sure she sticks to being an SNSD member as her main job and everything else as a side. She probably took that to mean that they don't approve of her being in the groups, hence the sense of betrayal in the post and the lack of clear statement from SM. I'm also willing to guess that she's cut off all communications and is hiding from SM, which is why she wasn't on that plane with the other members, and SM is still not releasing an official statement. They really would rather keep her if at all possible, and the fast negotiation would have been reached if they can communicate with her. There are reports that she's met with the lawyer that defended JYJ in their trial with SM, and then there's all that. So there, so that person is basically saying he's disappointed in her pinning the blame on the other members. She's preparing. She's been meeting with that lawyer, then obviously she's been preparing to end her contract. So
sounds like a bunch of crap to me.
Well, I was just saying that's just the latest theory that I see up, which kind of combines Kiara's whole she's just not, she's kind of staying away from SM and not even communicating with them.
Yep.
Which could
and
be.
If she is that smart, and if that's what she's doing, and she actually wants to be part of SNSD, it's actually a pretty good move to play because they're going to start freaking out, especially when they start seeing like it was probably a 50-50 shot at the beginning, but when you start seeing like stocks tank and like everyone's freaking out, and you can't get a hold of the person that you're trying to keep, the longer she holds out, as long as she doesn't hold out for too long, the better it's going to be for her.
Yeah.
It depends. It honestly depends because if she holds out, then she's going to make herself the villain, and the fact that she dragged the other 8 girls makes her look really shitty. That's the only issue that I have is like it would be one thing if she went like just SM, because then it doesn't throw shade at the other 8 girls, and they can be upset, and people can interpret her, like the 8 girls being upset, as they're upset at how SM is handling this. And then bam, she's a saint and she could play that card. But she played the my group turned against me too, or my group didn't help me out too, and that's gonna make her look bad. I think that her idea, if that was her idea, then she executed it incredibly wrong, and she should have talked to a lawyer to be like, how should I actually word this? Because there's no way that a lawyer would be like, hey, yeah, you should drag your group. No. That's the part that sticks out to me, right? Because everybody has this idea, people are going to come with that idea, and I think it's a good idea. Like I'm not judging anybody that comes with that. I just think it's a bad move because she dragged her group. If she had not done that part, then I would be like, yeah, totally, get that money, girl. But you dragged your group. You better fix it or commit to the fact that you're not going to be an SNSD anymore. It's one or the other, dude.
Maybe that's why the other members look so upset at the airport.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Yeah.
feel like they're being wronged in some way. Maybe if it is true that they have nothing to do with this, and if what they say is true that Hyoyeon is the one that's like closest to her, maybe she's like upset about it. That's why she looked like that at the airport. I don't know.
She's decided maybe to play hardball without telling,
The rest of the girls.
the rest of the girls, who are supposed to be her, closest friends, then don't know. But the one thing that I'm hoping doesn't come out of this, which I'm already kind of seeing, with one comment on Amona saying she wants to get married and study design in the US and focus on her business. Is there any time for SNSD? I can see why the members would be pissed. I don't think it should be just because she wants to have interests and a life outside of the group that she should be, demonized because of that. I mean, obviously, if SM was having issues with it, that's a whole different thing. But I don't like the idea of people being, well, if she just, decided to, fall in line with everyone else, then this wouldn't be happening, sort of thing.
I disagree. Because she is a part of a group, she is putting her group in a bad spot. That's really rude. I understand that people are out here and you got to look out for your number one, and I totally agree. But if you are going to put yourself above the group that has put you in this spot where you are famous, where you have all these things available to you, then you're the villain just as much as anybody else. Sorry, like that's why people get villainized because they try to do that. You should be. That's being a villain. You need to look out for your group. You all just agreed to do 3 more years of SNSD. If you weren't going to agree to do 3 more years of SNSD, why'd you re-sign your contract? You're going to go to
That
school
is
in New York?
true.
How?
That is true if we're going with the whole thing that the other girls didn't know, which, if this thing has gotten so complicated, I can't even keep it straight. But if we're going with the whole thing and she's doing this without telling anyone else about it, then yeah, I mean that would be kind of selfish on her part.
It's
Pretty selfish.
like that's 100% selfish. And if
Yeah.
people are going to defend her and that's what happened, she doesn't deserve to be defended. I'm sorry. Like she just let her other girls down after re-signing a contract. She put them in a bad spot. If she had no plans to focus on SNSD as her number one, why sign a contract to be an SNSD? That doesn't make sense to me. She wants to, like, okay, let's say she goes to school in New York. What if SM decides, hey, we want to have the comeback right now. It works best for all the 8 other girls' schedules, and she's like, it doesn't work for me. I'm in school. So you have to plan around
Yeah.
this one girl. You have to plan around one member of your group for 8 other girls. They can't have the schedule when it would work better for them. There's the potential of that. I'm not saying that that's exactly what would happen, but
Mhm.
if she decided that she wanted to do all this stuff and SM was like, no, you can't do that, and her response was like, oh, my girls didn't stand beside me and SM didn't stand beside me, I'm out. That's ridiculous. Now, if what had happened was she wanted to go to a fashion school, or she was like, oh, I want to go to this fashion school in New York, and somebody was like, why don't you go to a fashion school in Seoul? And all the girls were like, hey, why don't you stay with us and go to a fashion school in Seoul where you can actually be close and we can do things? That would be one thing. But this is the issue, right? Let's say they had let her do that, but they put all this news on the air that she's focusing on this other thing. Every single time she missed an SNSD event for school, people would bring that up. You think fans would just let that go? Like, oh, she put something else before her group.
I mean,
They're gonna
especially
bring that up.
after all of this, has gone down. That's the thing.
Well,
It's
yeah,
also
but I mean,
that.
if you look at other idols going to college. I mean, the first thing that that everyone says is they never actually go to college. I mean, they do their. How many of the idols right now are going to college, and how many times
But
have
they're
they
going to
actually been
college
to
in
their
Seoul.
classes?
They're going to college in Seoul, though. It's different. It's
Yeah, but
not
there's
Or
an
at
a lot
least
entire
of
in
country.
at least in Korea.
a lot of the schools can be online though. And how many
Right.
people? I mean, in America, you can also pay to get your degree. Like, I mean, they say it's not you can't do it. You can.
No, I know that, and I completely agree. But the issue I feel is that she genuinely wants to pursue fashion. I don't think she would say I'm going to go to school and not actually ever be there. I don't buy that. I don't buy that for a second. Especially not a fashion school. Like all the other celebrities, we don't even know what they're majoring in half the time. And then when they are, it's something that you could learn like across a computer. But taking fashion, like anything about fashion, you're going to need to be there. They're going to want to see your work. They're going to want to inspect it up close and everything. Like I don't buy it. I think if that part is true and she was unwilling to bend on that, that's going to look really bad for her. That's all I'm trying to say. Is it's going to look really
Right.
bad for her, and I think that if that is the case and people try to say you can't villainize her, yes you can. Like if you were a fan of SNSD, you can villainize her because she put something above the group. So you can't say she's innocent. I'm not saying you should drag her, and I'm not encouraging people drag her, but you can't say that she's not a villain because that would be her becoming a villain. If a smaller group did that, people would blame the girl who went for her personal life instead of the group life. People dragged Sully for the same thing. She picked her personal life over her, work life, her obligation to the group. So I don't know. I mean, you can't pick and choose what side of the field you want to be on, I guess is my point.
I mean, it's interesting though because I didn't want to bring them up because we always bring them up, but you kiss.
I was gonna say you kiss that one of the guys goes to school at
You here in New York, yeah, he goes to
he goes
Columbus
to like a big
University.
Ivy League and he's gone like 3-4 months out of the year.
Yeah,
Easy.
and I mean, it's like it's never really been an issue because all the fans are like, okay, if that's what he wants for his education, then it's fine, whatever, because they
And
have
they just
other
have
members.
the comebacks without him. Like he's missed like 2 or 3 comebacks, and then when he's there, he's there. When he's not, he's not.
Yeah,
It's also UKISS. You can't compare UKISS to SNSD.
But the thing is, but even if UKISS is a group that's struggling, you still need all your members there to make sure you can get as much profits as you want. But the fact that
No,
the company,
I disagree.
I agree because AJ is like, he's not popular, but
He's not Jessica. He is not the most popular member of we're one of the most popular members of the biggest group.
Okay.
Jessica's the most popular member in China, right? From SNSD. She's the most popular member in China. If she missed anything in China, don't you think that would look terrible?
not
Your most
really.
popular member is like, China.
I don't really think so because you
That
have
would
8 other
be
members. I feel like if you can,
I disagree.
you can if they have Tay so I'm sure they can do other like mini groups or whatever. I mean, the girls already do mostly individual stuff anyways, and only have one comeback as a group together.
That's not the point, though. The point is that by her leaving, if she was unwilling to bend, again, what if the other girls were like, hey, we want to have our comeback right now? Like, or this is the plan for the comeback, and Jessica's like, I can't make that. They're not gonna come back without Jessica. UKISS coming back without AJ. Who cares? No one's gonna watch UKISS anyways. SNSD is gonna be watched. How many times does SNSD come back and not had all 9 members? With one of them being completely and utterly healthy, and just not coming back because she's doing something else. That's not gonna fly. Like, I don't think that's gonna fly. Could they try it? Sure. I'm not saying that SM's right for not trying. But I also don't think that's going to fly. I think the first time it happens, people are going to cause a stink.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. Like, and I think that it's perfectly reasonable for people to villainize her for picking something over SNSD. That's more my point. Is by doing that, she is potentially, especially if all the other girls were like, please don't do that. Then how could you argue that she's not putting something else above her group? You know what I mean?
Well, and then now there's also some comments that, the stuff that's been coming out of Dispatch and such is SM starting to kind of maybe use this information to make Jessica look bad.
Right, and that's totally... There's tons of potential that that's true, too. And if that's what they're doing, then, like, there's potential that maybe she didn't even want to do it. We just are assuming, I'm just talking about assumptions.
Yeah.
I totally would buy if somebody came up and told me that SNSD made or SM made all that stuff up. I'd be like, yeah, I believe it. But I wouldn't put it past SM in a minute. Like, are you kidding me? I totally believe that. I'm just saying, like, if that is the case, and she wants to focus on her doing this other thing, it's really sketchy that she would re-sign for SNSD for 3 years, because seeing that statement made it feel like they plan to continue promoting and doing all this stuff. Like, yes, I agree that SNSD doesn't do things throughout the entire year anymore. They do a lot of solo activities, but they still have fan meetings and things like that. So she's gonna miss a bunch of those, like these fan interactions that are important. I don't know if I just don't buy that. I really don't buy that. I also don't buy a group having to schedule around one member, because they would schedule around Jessica if they did it. Am I saying they shouldn't try? No, I mean, you should keep SNSD as 9. I think everybody would agree that SNSD is better as 9. But I think that people are going to defend her because she wants to continue on with her personal life, and that's all fine and well, but then you need to understand that she's out of SNSD and she could have potentially got kicked out. I'm sure in a lesser group, like if somebody had gotten kicked out for the same circumstance, if you painted the same picture, people would be like, well, they picked their group over, this thing. But you're talking about the most established group, the most famous group in all of Korea. It's not, it's just different. It's different under those circumstances, unfortunately.
Mm. Well,
just what a statement.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to wait until, well, on my end of the United States, it's about 10:49 here. So
I'm fine.
I guess I'll wait till like 11. Well, and for Kiara as well. And then we'll just have to do a part 2 because SM is doing whatever. I don't know, putting out fires in their PR department or whatever. And there's some vicious putting down of Tyler Kwan. I didn't know people hated him so much.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of people hating him, saying that he's in New York, but he left his hairline in Korea.
I don't think he's a horrible looking guy. Plus he's rich and successful.
People have hated on Tyler Kwan since the minute the Jessica scandal started, because it's Jessica, and they don't want, like, as much as people don't want to admit it, that's what it is. Because there's no reason to hate him. He's super successful, and he's rich.
What do they want her to be with, Taekyeon?
Yeah, I just don't agree with it. I think it's just people who are upset, and there's no reason for them to be mad. Like, if Tyler Kwan, if Jessica wasn't famous and Tyler Kwan and freaking Jessica were dating, I bet you there'd be a ton of girls who were like, she's super lucky. Like, there's no way.
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of rumors that he's cheated on her. So.
Really?
Right. But there's also rumors that they're not dating. So I'm like, what the heck? Like, make up your mind. I don't know.
Wait, it was he? Because I never knew him before, but I think they said before he used to hang out with like YG people, right? Is that how people knew him at first?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I didn't know who
he's dated.
Because I didn't know who he was at all when the rumors first came out, but then suddenly pictures of him with like all these idols and stuff was coming out. I was like, oh, I guess he is someone kind of important, I guess. But...
yeah, I don't know. I think people are just gonna drag him because he's associated. They're gonna put the blame on him. It's gonna be another. I have these flashbacks to like when Sully left and did her thing, and people were like, "Oh, Choja's controlling her. Choja's making her do this. Choja's making her do that." I'm like, I'm waiting for Tyler Kwan's making Jessica leave SNSD. Like, that's gonna be the next headline. Tyler Kwan bullies Jessica into leaving SNSD. Says that he's not important enough to her. Blah 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 blah. It's just like, I'm ready for it. I'm so prepared for that moment.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna get a lot of heat if this comes out and she ends up leaving. He's gonna get a lot of the hate and the bullying.
Yeah, I remember with Wonder Girls when Sunye when it was announced that like she was getting married and stuff, like people who weren't supportive of her were kind of like digging digs at the guy, her husband, and saying all these things about him. He's like, no, he's mean. He doesn't even hold her purse and blah 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 and all these
Yes.
kinds of things. I was just like,
Insignificant
what?
stuff. It was just ridiculous.
Like
That's
just
how they are. That's what you do. You just go after whatever you can. If you have nothing, if you have no strand to tug at, you got to make stuff up. Like Sonia met her husband on like a missionary trip. You're gonna tell me that's a bad guy? Please. Are you kidding me? Like, come on. Come on. You think he was like, you need to leave your group so that I can ruin your career and we can run away together? Bull crap. I bet she was like, hey, let's get married. Hey, let's start a family. She looked like nothing about her doesn't scream, I want to have a family. Some people grow up and they don't want to do the idol thing anymore. Like I don't understand why that's
What
such
was
a concept.
interesting is that I think like not long, it was literally like weeks before she announced, I think that she was getting married. There was the Korean embassy was doing like a Hallyu K-pop thing in like DC, and so I came because Sunye was coming there to speak, and like they had literally got her like last minute. Like I think she just happened to be in New York City and like flew back down and to speak and flew back up. Like it was something crazy. And something that was really interesting is that when she spoke and like she had everything written down and she spoke about being a Korean idol, she mentioned a lot of things about how she didn't like the fact that being an idol had, you know, that she thought kids shouldn't look up to idols, and she mentioned a lot of things about, how a lot of, idols have to do things that, kids shouldn't, copy and shouldn't do, and that the life is hard. And it was just, it was a lot of kind of focusing on the negative that I wasn't expecting. It was interesting, but I wasn't expecting her to kind of go there, and saying, kids should try to be more than just, a singer or a dancer. And I mean, like I said, she was reading this, and this was obviously, written in English, so it may not have gotten across her whatever her full meaning was in Korean. But it was interesting, that she was kind of talking about the negative aspects of being a Korean idol, and then not long after that, I'm getting married, I'm having a baby, you know, I'm essentially getting out of that life. I don't know. It's just interesting because I can kind of see that connection.
I mean, as a fan, I'm like, whatever. As long as she's happy, like I can't stop her from being happy. As a fan, that's not my place. I just support her when she does. If it's
Yeah.
good.
I had no problem with it at all. I mean, when I heard about it, I was like, whoa. But I mean, the only thing that made me angry was, like I said, people that were blaming her for the Wonder Girls leaving the group when, that was one case where, they were very clear that the other girls in JYP were completely complicit, in all of her decisions, and she had talked to them about it, and they were like, okay. And, you go into this next phase of your life and be happy, and we'll go off and do other things that we want to do. And they were probably already kind of at that point anyway.
Yeah.
Except for maybe possibly Lim, but so.
Whatever. Lim got to ride the wave of being in like one of the most successful groups. Like, she's fine.
Well, yeah,
If she's
no.
mad, she
I
can deal
mean,
with
I'm
it.
just saying. I mean, obviously she's, she hasn't been doing it as long as the other girls has, so she's probably still, wants to be, an artist or whatever. She hasn't been through several years of this.
But I mean, she's still there and she's still doing things. Like she just finished filming a movie and stuff like that in China. So she had that job for a while where she was like a MC for one of the Arirang shows, whatever.
I remember.
So, and I mean, there was a rumor that Wonder Girls was gonna come back as 4 members. Of course, JYP like shut it down like quickly, but people are still saying that JYP is lying and that they're just like that there is gonna be a comeback, but I don't know if it's true.
I think with them, it really depends on what they want to do. Especially one thing that I felt like, especially with Yenny and her Hatfelt project and everything, is that they're very much, it's not going to happen unless they want it to happen or they feel ready for it to happen. So, that's the one good thing I do feel about JYP is I don't feel like that very weird, controlling, I don't know, sentiment that I get from like SM, which, with their artists, obviously.
Well, I mean, I guess Wonder Girls has more lineage because they've been with JYP for so long now, and I mean, they did their thing. They became like for a short period of time they were like the #1 girl group, and they won all the awards, and
Well, that's the thing is you would think that Girls' Generation would have that kind of leniency. But then we are talking about SM, which is a completely different company, so who knows what their version of lenient is.
I also say Shanna's kind of pretty quiet, but she muted her mic.
Yeah, sorry, I was blowing my nose. I didn't think y'all wanted to hear that.
Okay, well, it is literally almost 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we have yet to have heard a full statement from SM. As of right now, they are looking into matters. I am assuming
they're delving deep into the inside of their assholes and trying to find that one clean speck of scum that they can find and use. It's going to take a while, though. It's SM. It's pretty dirty up there. I don't think they've had a colonoscopy in a few years.
And yeah, and we'll probably know in several hours something. I hope so. So
we won't. It's SM. Whatever they say, it'll be done shortly. They mean in a few days.
And
MD's
then
coming out at midnight, guys. Shows up at 4:30 in the morning. What's up?
Yeah. And then this whole whatever happens, this whole thing is gonna last the entire week. So whenever we get back together, it'll still be going on, I'm sure. So we'll get to talk about it some more. Yay!
Yeah. Before we go, there's a comment on Amona that I like.
Okay.
Part of in line with what I was saying, and this user Kalais, something like that. She said, I know everyone is like bad SM/SNSD for making her choose, but as butthurt as SM is, I think that it's the right thing to do. Making her choose her main priority, I think it's amazing that she wants to be a part of SNSD and be a fashion designer, but from a business standpoint, SM wouldn't reap any benefits only her company would. And SM couldn't let her promote her business without interfering with SNSD as a whole, especially their endorsements. It's just kind of an impossible situation for her to do both, and I know she wanted the girls to back her up and be like, let her do it, SM. Makes me think they have to do something in their contracts about a side business. That's kind of my point. Like, it's really hard to do both things and let somebody like fly and have their own career while also doing this other thing when you sign a contract. Like, you see it in the West when when an artist here signs a contract, they're a lot different. There's different freedoms that they have. Mm-hmm. We don't have the same kind of contracts that they do. But even people who sign here, like if your company tells you you're going to endorse this product, they're going to endorse that product. Like that's why you sign contracts. Beyonce can't go and have a Pepsi contract and make her own cola. Like that's not a thing. She's gonna lose one, But she also, like Jessica wants to start her own clothing line, and I think that if she wants to do that, that's fine. But and I don't want to make it sound like I don't respect her for doing what she wants to do. I do. I just don't think she should have signed her contract if she wanted to do something else. I think that's something that should have been worked out. Like, how was that not a topic of discussion when she went to go sign her contract again? And it makes me wonder, like, did all 9 girls really re-sign their contract, or are they just saying that? Like, it just seems fishy. It's not like SM hasn't known she wanted to make her own clothing label. We all knew. Everybody knew that she wanted to do it. We just assumed that SM was going to let her do it. So you're telling me that SM gave her a new contract and didn't say anything about the whole label business? I mean, maybe SM is really that bad. It's totally possible that SM is that bad.
Okay, before we leave our Soshi watch for tonight, another article has been translated by Korea Boo, which is actually pretty interesting. It's Dispatch reveals insight into why Girls' Generation Jessica would be kicked out of SM Entertainment, and there's actually some interesting notes here. They put a list of 5 reasons and insights according to their media outlet and insiders as to why she may be kicked out of the group. One is their actions in the eyes of the other members, the two were unacceptable. A representative of Girls' Generation stated, "We hope that she would put in all her efforts and time into Girls' Generation's promotions, but Jessica does not know how to tell the difference between work, public, and personal affairs." Another one. The conflicts and dissension between Jessica and the other members began around August. It was after Jessica launched her fashion brand Blanc. Jessica even launched a line of sunglasses through the brand. At the center of Blanc is Tyler Kwan. He is the largest shareholder and investor in the brand, and has also maintained attracting most of the income. Of course, Jessica has invested much of her own money into the business as well. Neither SM Entertainment nor the Girls' Generation members were opposed to Jessica's business. However, they did express that putting the business before Girls' Generation was a difficult problem. So all in all, Blanc should be side business, not the main business. Jessica had a dream of living as a designer. She is currently getting ready to attend an American design school. To attend an American school, one needs to take the SATs. However, she planned to show her portfolio instead. In order for this to happen, she had no choice but to put all her time into her current design brand. One representative has stated, "We can understand her designing as she promotes as a member of Girls' Generation, but we are against her using the Girls' Generation brand to live better as a designer." There are a lot of concerns that Jessica's promise with her fans will be running into massive problems as well. In actuality, SNSD will be holding fan meets for about 3 months, beginning September 30th until January 4th, 2015. There are conclusions being made questioning whether or not long-term fan meet tours, such as the one mentioned above, will be difficult to carry on if Jessica continues to focus on her personal business rather than SNSD promotions. Even Jessica has been experiencing friction with the deciding of her daily weekly schedules. One of SNSD representatives stated, "We have asked Jessica regarding her stay or departure from the group. From what I know, she has said that she cannot give either one up. I don't think she knows how to choose between the two." And finally, it seems as though she finds herself in an unfair position, as if she thinks that she has given her all into being part of SNSD. She finds it being suggested the idea of leaving the group was an unacceptable and irrational thing to do. Currently, Jessica's agency staff and members are all awaiting her decision. Once she decides to choose SNSD, then SNSD must become her #1 priority. In the end, all that matters is Jessica's sincerity. Right now, in the eyes of her members, Tyler Kwan and the Blanc are Jessica's first and foremost priority. Because of this, these conflicts are now blowing out of proportion. So, that's from Dispatch.
I don't know.
Pretty heady situation.
Maybe this is what she was talking about, I guess, on her Weibo. Maybe they didn't tell her outright that she's no longer part of SNSD, but they probably had a meeting about this whole situation, and she's taking it as they're telling me I'm out of the group, so she left.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
maybe she didn't even ask them. She just reacted. I could see that.
yeah. Either way, unfortunately, we're not getting paid by Dispatch to keep an eye on the news. But one good thing is, within several hours, we'll probably know something different than we know now. And yeah, hold on for part two. Whoever listens to this will probably already know what's going on. But we lasted as long as we could. It's SM's fault because
Everything is always SM's fault, didn't
it's
we?
all SM's fault. Yeah,
Sometimes it's you Kiss's fault.
Oh
sometimes
yes.
UKIS, although UKIS can stay out of this one for now. Yeah, but stay tuned, and I guess we'll see what happens next. And I'm sure it'll be an interesting week. Thank you guys. Thank you, Kiara, Shannon, Tim, for joining me for this special podcast. And I look forward to talking more about this with you guys later on this week.
Yep.
I see you guys.
All right. See you guys.
Good luck,
Bye.
Shannon.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Don't die, Shannon.
Don't die. We
Need you
need
for the next podcast.
I'm gonna have like no soul left when we come back for the next one.
Nah, keep it together. We need you.
Keep it together, fighting.
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 You can do it.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.